What's the worst scandal to happen at your school? When in middle school, the school forced us to give our phones to the vice principal, and they would stay there, locked, during the day. They got stolen. Around 120 smartphones. This locking up can backfire. One year we got together and all agreed to set an alarm on our phones for the same time, at max volume. After that they just said the phones had to be turned off, though. Nope, should have set them 2 to 5 minutes apart so they don't go quiet at the same time. Kid in my class sent an email to the White House, threatening to kill Socks, the Clintons' cat. Secret Service showed up a few days later after they tracked down the computer. Did he get any punishment? Lifetime ban from ever working for the government. He was on the military track too, but they ripped up his contract. First week of high school. P class, the first section was swim. Wasn't my class, but the class after. This kid was playing a game with his friends in the water, who could hold their breath the longest. He was going up for air and hit head on the pointy part of the gutter, and never made it to the surface. Friends didn't notice, teacher didn't notice. Eventually football players coming back to the locker rooms noticed. He ended up dying. Teacher was fired, although I wouldn't fully blame him as he was attending and teaching kids who didn't know how to swim or weren't strong swimmers. One adult for over 60 kids? That's the school's fault. I understand the teacher not noticing, but the friends who were directly competing with the kid didn't notice. Must have thought he was pretty darn good at breath holding. Student brutally murdered his parents. He was a friend and co-captain of the soccer team. His mom was my English teacher. During middle school, a few kids sold weed and someone that bought some smoked it in the building, which was just stupid. The kid that sold it to him didn't want to get in trouble, so he pulled the fire alarm so people wouldn't find the kid. We all got to go home afterwards. Honestly, that's some pretty quick thinking. Obviously not very responsible. But the kid that pulled the fire alarm had some pretty sharp self-preservation instincts. Plus, if he got crap for pulling a false alarm, he can legitimately say that he saw smoke. When the religion teacher cheated on her husband with the math teacher. She could save others from adultery, but not herself. Long story short, the principal got arrested for hiding cameras in the bathroom. This was back in elementary. He was a total fucking creep. 2 things. Both in middle school. 1. I was at home on a Sunday watching the news with my mom when all of a sudden my 6th grade teacher's mugshot showed up, and it said that her and her husband were pulled over and the police found like 6 pounds of high-grade weed, lead to a search warrant for their home, and they literally slept on an inflatable mattress. The whole house was a grow op. She did look like a hippie, but I don't understand. She was not mellow at all. She was a bitch. 2. In 8th grade, one of my friend's parents had cancer. He thought it was a good idea to bring some of their meds to school and hand them out like candy. These were strong meds, and not all of them were pain pills. At least 5 kids overdosed, 2 of them had seizures. No one died, thankfully. I was in 5th grade and someone sketched in the middle school bathroom not to go on school Friday, or I will bang bang. This was then brought to the attention of the county and state police, and we didn't have school that day, and the police searched everyone's lockers for a firearm. In middle school, one of the hot girls sent a couple nude pictures to her BF, and it wasn't long until half the school had them. Police ended up becoming involved to make sure all copies were destroyed. In high school, there was a little scandal involving the teachers and a teachers' club called the Hot Tub Club. Faculty members that had hot tubs would host a weekly hot tub party with other hot tub owners. Turns out they were all getting wasted and having a swinging party every Wednesday. Somebody's spouse found out about it, and there was a huge exodus of hot tub teachers my senior year. Nobody was fired from the school for being in the hot tub club. Teachers left because it was convenient timing with the opening of another high school, and there was constant babble about it. We had a few. Some standouts. 1. Student hid a pregnancy from her parents. She ended up giving birth at home and killed the baby. 2. Students engaged in sexual acts at the nearby church, where all our masses occurred, and we, the student body, were then banned for having our masses at the church. When I was in school, there was a girl who was overweight, and as a result of how she carried that weight, looked quite pregnant. Teachers kept pulling her and her parents into conferences to talk about it, and after however many times it happened, the parents got pissed and got the school to agree that they would no longer alert the parents or counselors if they thought the girl was pregnant. About a year later, she stopped showing up to school. This was sophomore or junior year of high school. There were mad rumors about what happened, that she got involved with some older kids, ran to Mexico, got busted robbing. Turns out she had finally, actually been pregnant and was attempting to give birth, alone, in the bathroom at home before her parents figured it out. Sophomore year, a girl in my grade passed on a solid yellow up a hill, hit a family in a car and killed both parents and one of the kids. A week later, she's back at school in a brand new pickup truck and never faced any sort of trial or anything. Her parents were extremely large farmers in the small rural town and had influence in the local court systems, I'm sure. A girl died in the pool during an event at the school. The swim teacher was blamed and was prosecuted. The girl who died was at my sister's class. Both were 7 at the time. That happened over 10 years ago, but the parents haven't had another child since. She was their only kid. Kid made a chlorine bomb and threw it in the trash can at lunch. Lockdown, bomb squad, every single kid and faculty member out on the field in 95 degrees weather for 2+ hours until parents could show up to pick up their kids. A overachieving student in my year went nuts and pooped in a bag in a teacher's classroom. She also thought she could run up trees. Turns out she didn't end up skipping a few years and going to uni early like she was predicted to do. The balance of genius is on a very thin edge. There was a kid whose girlfriend brought a knife into school and planned to kill herself in the bathroom. He knew her locker combination, so he took the knife and hid it in his so she wouldn't do it and wouldn't get busted. Someone snitched on him, and he got expelled for having a knife on campus. Whole town was pissed. One girl literally kicked on a guy's balls so hard that he had to be hospitalized. The girl was 15, the boy was 11, and there were no actions because of lack of evidence. One year in exams days, they were trying to add a new method to prevent cheating where a man from the administration comes to every class before every exam and collects students' phones while sticking a sticker with a number on each phone and giving the same sticker to the student so he can get his phone after school without anyone taking someone else's phone that looks alike or something. This was working at first and a bit, preventing cheating, until one day some guy sneaked into our high school and came as the man who collects the phones while he wasn't. He stole the whole high school phones and went LOL. My middle school banned hugging and hand-holding during course changes because it blocked the hall. In protest, all the 8th graders stood up and hugged each other during their lunch period. A bunch of students got detention. Made the cover of the Charlotte Observer. Dude, everybody else talking about pedos and murder, and your big scandal is a big group hug. What's the worst scandal to happen at your school? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.